good? What is everybody up to? What is the 411? Not a regular mom. I'm a cool mom. I use that reference far too often, I think. So sorry if you're in here all the time. You're like, girl, get a new opening line. Hello, hello. Hi, Jeff. How are you? Good afternoon. The Ninja Luxe Cafe Espresso Maker makes the absolute best coffee. I don't care what anybody says. Nespresso, this by far is the best. So if anybody has been interested in one, I highly recommend it. And no, I'm not an affiliate, so. How are we? Doing great, Jeff. Glad to hear. How am I? I'm good. I am good. Let's see. It's a great start to the week. We got up at about 7:30 this morning. We went and we got breakfast. There's this cute place down the mountain that has cows. It's called Belties. And apparently Belties, which is why I wore my cow. That's why I wore my cow jacket. It's called Belties because cows, if they have like a line around them instead of spots, they're called Belty cows. Who knew, right? And this place serves like really good breakfast sandwiches with like biscuits. So we went there. My son got to pet the cows. So cute. And then we went to the store, Target, grocery shopping. And then we came back. There's a Liverpool friendly game on. I was watching some of it, but we're already up 4-0. And friendlies, you know. But yeah, and now I'm here hanging out with you fine people. So that is how it's going for me. So it's going wonderful. That is my Monday. And this is a work day for me. So life is good, right? Life is good. You like my jacket? Oh, and you like that I have a jacket on. Yeah, the jacket's from Amazon, guys. I got it on Amazon. I saw one. They had it at, I think it was on Newly, which came from Anthropologie. They had this, like one very, very similar, but it was like $250. I'm like, not going to do that. But this is like fleece. It's really nice. And it's actually cuter when I'm standing up. This makes it look like it's very bulky. But yeah, it's in the 60s up here. This is why we got a mountain house up here. Why we got a mountain house, because we live in South Florida. So being able to escape, we're up here for the whole summer. We got a house to be, close to my husband's parents' house, and someplace that we can come every summer. And yeah, it's really, really nice out. It was like, I think when we woke up, it was like in the 50s this morning. Crazy. But to me, this is perfect, like high 60s, but the sun is out. It's gorgeous. And in the shade, you know, it's cool. But, yeah. You're not new to AI, but a beginner in monetizing it. What would you suggest for a 1K a month starting? So this is a great question, and thanks for answering. I didn't even do my introduction, so let me answer this question, and then I'll give you guys my full introduction. So that's the hardest part, right? We all forget to think that making money with anything is the hardest part. We all want to build something, create something, work hard on our passions, and think that the money will flow in. And that's not how it works at all. The hardest thing is always getting people to give a shit, getting people to pay you money, right? And that comes with anything. So I'm in the service-based industry, right? I have clients, I run their med ads, their TikTok ads, and I do their email marketing. And right, learning all of that took years of, you know, getting to a point where I was really, really good at it because, you know, self-taught, I didn't know what I was doing. But none of that is even the hard part. None of that is the hard part. It's actually getting clients. It's actually getting people to give a shit and to pay you money. And so that comes with monetizing AI as well, right? I mean, even if you're a content creator on these social media apps, you know, and the apps pay you money to post, you're only getting paid if people watch your videos. So it's literally getting people to give a shit and to either pay attention to you, give you their time, give you their money. And so that comes with anything, especially with things with monetizing AI, right? And so especially if you're not new to AI, there are people that are, you know, experts at AI and can do and build anything, right? And they're flat broke. They're not making any money because they don't understand the business side of it. They don't. It's the hardest part. So it's not even about understanding it. It's still the hardest part. so it has to depend, right? And you can't go into it with like a black and white mindset, right? Where you're saying like, hey, I need an extra $1,000 a month, right? You go into that type of mindset, and you need to go into it with the mindset of not a black and white figure, but okay, I'm going to build something that's going to generate me a decent amount of income, right? Because you're going to get hyper fixated on a dollar amount, and it's not going to bode well when you could actually probably more than likely make way more money, but you're going to be hyper fixated on a certain price point, and you don't want to do that. It also messes with you when it comes to pricing in general, right? For instance, what I do, I charge $10,000 a month to run meta ads for clients. There are people that charge $50,000 a month. Big agencies charge $50,000 a month. There are people that charge $1,000 a month, right? And we all generally do the same thing. And it comes into, how you position yourself, how you price yourself, and the value you bring in, and the perceived value as well, right? If you're generating a lot of saved time for a client, how much does that actually mean to them for their pocket, right? If they're no longer spending X, Y, and Z on paying somebody to do something because now AI is making up for that, how much money are you actually saving them, and how much time are you actually saving them, and then how much is that actually worth to them, right? Not every one client has to be the same, and you can price them differently based on the amount of value you're individually bringing to them. So don't go into it with a certain price point, right? Think of it, okay, I want to monetize AI. First of all, ask AI. That's what I would do, because I don't have the specific details on what specifically you want to do as far as monetizing AI. That could be a laundry list of different things. There's no limit to the amount of things you can monetize AI for, and services, trades, automations you can offer. Ask ChatGPT, hey, listen, these are the things I'm really good at. Ask me a bunch of questions to figure out what are the best AI things, services, trades that I can offer based on the questions that you asked me, based on my experience. Put together a plan for me that I can go to market, right? Where am I going to find my potential clients? Put together a strategy, put together a proposal, put together things that I need to have on my website, all of this stuff, an entire 360 marketing. Have it build you a price point, pricing, packaging, and don't think like, oh, that's too high. It's always better to go higher than lower. I promise that is not even an opinion thing. That is just truthful 100%. You'll get the right type of customers too, the higher you price your point. And you get what you pay for. So if you're charging really cheap, they're going to expect a cheap product. So it just is what it is. I hope that helped a little bit. Sorry, that was a bit of a ramble. Did we get anything out of what I just said, guys? Did we get anything after that? I hope that helped a little bit. Momo, hey, I love you. I love you too, Momo. Thanks so much. Hi, guys. Okay, so let me go ahead and give my full introduction. So hi, welcome. My name is Laura Anderson, also known as Digital Laura Anderson. I am the founder of the 10-Hour 10K Work Month. I'm also the founder of School of Anti-Workaholics. I am the host of 7-Day Weekend Podcast. New episodes coming soon. I signed with HubSpot Podcast Network, so very, very exciting. I have a book coming out. It's available for pre-order right now. If you click the link in my bio, you'll find it. It's called the 10-Hour Work Month. It is the framework and the philosophy behind my entire 10-Hour 10K Work Month bootcamp. Because it's changed so many people's lives. It's how I got my podcast deal. It's how I got my book deal. Not only has it changed my life, it's changed hundreds of my students' lives. And helping people work smarter, not harder, teaching people how they can go out on their own without a degree, without any experience, and learn trades that businesses, companies all need, all require, and how you can actually turn it into a business that allows you to work a lot less, about 10 hours a month. That's 10-Hour 10K Work Month, and make over $10,000 every single month, because we're leveraging AI and we are getting ahead of the curve and offering these services at, doing the work of like 5 to 10 people now because we automate it with AI. So I'm a media buyer by trade. What that means is I have clients. I run their TikTok ads, I run their meta ads, and I do their email marketing. This makes me about 6 figures every single month. And again, I work only about 10 hours every single month because I automate with AI and I delegate out to freelancers on Fiverr, which is exactly what I teach in my 10-Hour 10K Work Month bootcamp. I am live at 2 places at once. I'm live here on TikTok. Hi, TikTok. And I'm live here on Instagram. Hi, Instagram. So I like to be able to answer all questions on both platforms. That is literally why I'm here, is to be as a resource for you guys to answer any questions that you might have on any of the topics we talk about, to dive deeper into. I want to be available for you guys. Oh, and the 10-hour 10K work month. Now we're cooking. Right? The 10-hour 10K work month bootcamp is half off while I'm live. So it's half off right now. If you guys want me to run through the entire thing, I absolutely can, just so you know what you can get for half off. And yeah, you can click the link in my profile. It'll take you to my link tree. It's the first link there. It'll take you to the enrollment page. The enrollment page has more information, student testimonials. Discounts automatically apply to checkout, and there is Afterpay or Klarna if you want a payment plan option. So yes, Charlotte, that's my niece's name. I love that name. I wanted to call her Lottie, but my sister never started calling her Lottie, so we call her Charlotte, but I love Charlotte. It's such a pretty name. Yeah, you can click the link in my profile, and there's Afterpay or Klarna for a payment plan option. It's typically $4,000 all in. Again, I can run through the entire thing if you want me to, just so you know what that includes. And it's half off, so it's just under $2,000 right now. And that offer does extend till about 20 minutes after the live, so you do have some time to check it out even when the live is over. Digital marketing is probably a good place to start. You need to do it alongside your 50-hour week job. So digital marketing is an umbrella term, right? Because so many things fall under that umbrella. It's anything that allows you to essentially make money through advertising, specifically online, right? That can be affiliate marketing, that can be social media marketing, that can be offering products, that can be commission-based products, right? Like doing content creation, that can be offering services online, you know, meta ads, TikTok ads, email marketing, graphic design, SEO, even bookkeeping. All of that is considered digital marketing. So it's really an umbrella term, and depends on kind of what you want to do and what route you want to go. There's a lot of options. Getting as much knowledge from you before you have 100 questions a minute. Oh, well, that's what I'm here for. And genuinely, it's to answer all of your guys' questions. So please feel free to ask all of them. Okay, so you guys want me to do a run through of the boot camp? Doing a run through also gives you, like, because running through the boot camp is giving you the exact step-by-step of what you need to do. So not only will you learn what's in the boot camp, but you'll learn how to do it on your own if that's what you want to do, because I give you the exact step-by-step. So if you guys want me to run through it, can you just drop a 1 in the chat, just so I know? I want to make these lives as beneficial for you guys as possible. So it's really up to you what you guys want to hear and want out of these lives. Okay, so Alyssa's giving a 1. Heather gave me a 1. All right, okay, so I'm seeing some 1s. Okay, Ash, 1. Okay, all right, so I'll run through it. Okay, so Ashley's given lots of 1s. Okay, guys, how long does it take to complete, and how long before students who are actually trying to start making money? Charlotte, great question. So let me answer this question really, really quick, and then I will run through the entire boot camp so it makes sense. Okay, so the boot camp in its entirety is about 20 hours long. I say about because I'm always adding updates to it, and you're always entitled to any and all updates as they come out, totally complimentary. You're grandfathered into all updates. So it's really ultimately up to you, because they are self-paced video modules. You can take it at your leisure. You always go back, rewatch, and then you're always getting the updates, right? There is no, like, magic number as to when you can actually start making money, right? It's going to look different for everybody, and even if you do the exact entrepreneurship in general isn't black and white, so it doesn't matter if you do the exact same steps as somebody else, your outcomes are going to look different, right? I can tell you though, like, what I've actually literally seen from my students that's possible. I had one student, Leslie, in our first week. Not only did she take the boot camp, implement and execute everything, but also got her first client all within 1 week. She did all of it in 1 week and got her first $2,500 a month client running TikTok ads for them. So she got her money back and then some, and that's, you know, a monthly retainer. So she gets it every month. And that was just with her first client all in 1 week. So, you know, that's possible. I've also seen where a student doesn't get a client until month 6, you know. It's going to look different across the board no matter but it's a consistency play, right? Eventually you get your first yes. Sometimes it comes quick, sometimes it takes a little bit of time. But eventually, if you stick it out, everything pays off if you're consistent. Literally everything. There's nothing you can't, like, do if you're not consistent. Like, I mean, think about like learning a new language, right? Even if you don't speak a lick of that language, you're going to get to a point where you're learning it, you're going to plateau, you're going to skip a couple days, it's going to get a little fatigued, and maybe you quit, or you're like, okay, I'll get back to it later, right? But eventually, if you keep showing up every single day, you're going to learn that language, right? It's not even like up for debate. You will learn that language if you keep at it every single day, right? And for some people, it clicks faster, and for other people, it takes a little bit about a time, but they still get there. They still get it. You'll always get it if you're consistent. It's a consistency play, and consistency pays off 100% of the time. So let me run through the bootcamp. I hope that answered you. Hope that answered good, Charlotte. So the 10-hour 10K work month, think of it kind of like the new version of the 4-hour work week, right? Where you learn to work smarter, not harder, where you learn how to automate and how to delegate work. But I actually certify you in the services and trades that you can turn into a business that you can then automate and delegate, right? So after you take the bootcamp, you're a certified expert in meta ads, TikTok ads, and email marketing. These are the 3 services that I offer and the reason why I offer them is because they pay the most and they're the easiest to outsource. I've offered tons and tons of services over the years, trades over the years, and the reason why these ones stick the best is because they pay the most and they're the most in demand, right? So if you're going to learn trades, this is why you work with a mentor, right? Because you live and you learn through me. Like, there's nothing wrong with other services and trades at all whatsoever, but if you want to go straight to making the big bucks, learn the ones that pay the most. Like, when you can tell a client down to the penny how much money you bring in for them, you can charge a lot, right? I charge $10,000 to $12,000 just to run meta ads for clients, and it's because I, in return, bring them in 3, 4, 5 times their return on $100,000 every single month, right? They're making 300, 400, 500,000. So I teach those services and skills. I certify you in them. And you don't just learn the basics foundations 101, right? That's where you're going to see a lot of courses and a lot of other offerings. That's what they're going to do, right? I teach you that, plus I teach you how to actually become an expert, how to build out the campaigns, how to find and test the audiences, how to actually read and analyze all the data so that you can optimize and scale your clients profitably. And that's what pays the big, big bucks, right? Because you've heard lots of people say they've lost lots of money on these platforms, right? Running ads on Meta or TikTok or even doing email marketing. And these are the most advertised on platforms on the planet. And that's not because people are losing money. It's because they're making a shit ton of money, right? And it's because they know what they're doing and they know how to actually make that return. And so if you know what you're doing, you can make a lot of money on these platforms, and that's why it pays so much. So you learn all of that from front to back, A to Z, even when you're a total beginner, all the way to expert level. I actually take you into my clients' accounts and I show you the exact moves I make. So you're not learning like in theory what should work, right? I'm actively showing you in real time, like these are the moves I'm making right now. And this is how I'm handling this budget and how we're getting this profit. So you see it in real time. And these trades are invaluable no matter how you work them, right? I've had some students be like, hey, listen, I actually kind of want to go get a job. They're now certified experts in these trades and skills and go get 6-figure jobs without degrees. So just invaluable skills no matter how you look at it. I also have some students who have their own businesses and learn these trades for their own business and make a killing with it. So just invaluable to be able to fall back on regardless. But I don't want to teach you how to get a job, right? You can't make over $10,000 per month and only work 10 hours per month at a job, right? You can only do that when you work for yourself. So the next step is what I tell you, right? So step 1 is learning the trades, right? You got to learn the trades. You got to learn the skills. And I'm teaching you the 3 highest in demand and highest paying trades: meta ads, TikTok ads, and email marketing. So you don't just learn one, you learn all 3. I've seen other like boot camps or trainings where they charge more and they only offer one service, just one trade. And it's still a good value, right? I just wanted to create an entire 360 for you guys. So not only are you going to learn the services and trades, 3 of them, right? Because these are what I offer, it's what makes me the most money. They're easy to bundle so that you can have clients on retainer for like $20,000 a month because you have them on board for all of 3 services. So that's step number 1, right? Learning the services and trades. Then step number 2 is position yourself as an expert, right? I walk you through this entire process, how to build a website, right? AI makes it very, very easy to build a website. Don't worry, you can literally speak it into existence. I walk you through the entire thing, show my screen. Couldn't be easier. And a LinkedIn profile. I show you, I've been doing this for over 11 years. I know exactly what you need to have on both of these so that you attract those high paying clients and you attract those recruiters. There's a very unique strategy that I have on LinkedIn in order to make that happen. And I walk you through the entire thing. And yes, you can have 2 LinkedIn profiles. So if you have one at your current job, don't worry. You can create another one. Just have it business branded, right? Create a free logo in Canva. Throw it up there. Now you've got a business LinkedIn profile. You don't have to show your face. This isn't one of those things where you're creating UGC content or you have to post on social media. Nothing. You don't have to have any social media accounts for it. This is a behind the scenes. This is a service-based industry, right? Has nothing to do with content creation or building a social media following or even getting clients on social media, I promise. So now you're the go-to person in this industry and skills. You've built that foundation. You are that authority because you've got your website and you've got your LinkedIn profile that positions you as such. So now we've learned the 3 highest paying, most high in demand services and trades: meta ads, TikTok ads, and email marketing. Now we've positioned ourselves as an expert with a website and with a LinkedIn profile. And then that takes us to step number 3. And step number 3 is the hardest part in all of this. This is where I've seen every other training, course, everything fall short. And this is what we were talking about earlier. And that is, okay, how do you get clients? How do you actually get people to pay you money? How do you get people to care and pay you money? Miss A, you just signed up. You're so excited. I'm so excited for you. I can't wait. Please keep us posted on your progress and your success. Like, nothing makes me happier. I have students popping in here all the time, commenting about their progress and where they are and how much money they're making. And it's by far the coolest thing I've ever done in my life. So I'm so excited to hear more. How exciting. Yeah, it is half off right now, you guys. If you click the link in my profile, it'll take you to my link tree. It's the first link there. 10-hour, 10K work month bootcamp. And that offer does extend till about 20 minutes after the live, but then it does go back up to full price. Okay, so where were we? So now, how to get clients, right? The hardest part. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I make it easy, but I make it as easy as possible, right? You can't expect, there is nothing in life that's going to allow you to get a lot of money and be very successful and do minimal amount of work, or not have to get out of your comfort zone, or not have to try a little bit, okay? If you ask for a lot, right? I have clients that pay me $10,000 a month. That's a lot. I'm asking for a lot. So in exchange, I have to do a lot, okay? And so finding clients is the hardest part, but I make it as easy as possible. I actually had one of my students tell me that she spent $12,000 on other trainings and courses in this, and not one of them taught her how to get clients. And she said after she purchased the 10-hour, 10K work month bootcamp, in 2 months, she had $18,000 worth of monthly retainers for meta ad services. And she's like, that was literally the missing puzzle piece. Like, I just could not figure out how to get clients. So that's why I put this in there. And that's why this is another one of the big reasons why I created this bootcamp, is to have that entire 360 for you. So you don't have, there's no guesswork. You have everything you need in order to not only learn the skills, position yourself as an expert, and to actually get clients. And nothing beats a Jet 2 holiday. Don't let my husband hear me say that, because I mean, it's died down, but I cannot stop saying that for the life of me. Those videos kill me. But anyway, so I teach you how to get clients from front to back. I teach you exactly how to get clients on Upwork, LinkedIn, and Indeed. I give you every single resource you need to make it happen. So cover letter templates, proposal templates, contract templates, scope of service templates, client onboarding checklists, mock interviews with clients. It's so invaluable to be able to have those templates and resources so that the second you're done, you can hit the ground running. There's no like, okay, now I got to do all of this setup, all this. You have everything. It's like a turnkey business. You just have to implement and execute. Having the resources and templates in there alone are worth more than the price of the course. So you get all of that. And these aren't like run-of-the-mill templates. These are, I've been doing this for 11 years. I close $10,000 to $12,000 a month clients. These are the exact resources and templates that I use. I actually had somebody tell me the other day that they just used the proposal template. They had a call and they closed the client with it like in 24 hours. So super, super cool. So you get everything in the entire 360. And so now comes the fun part, right? Those are steps 1 through 3, right? Learning the services and trades that are highest in demand and highest paying, which are meta ads, TikTok ads, and email marketing, and learning them from a beginner all the way to expert. Then step number 2 is positioning yourself as an expert, right? With a website and with a LinkedIn profile. And then step number 3 is getting clients, right? And we're getting clients on Upwork, LinkedIn, and Indeed. All 3 have very unique strategies. I walk you through all 3 of them. I give you every single template resource you need to make it happen. So now we're getting clients, right? Somebody said earlier, now we're cooking, baby. Now we're cooking. We're getting clients. We're making money. So now comes the fun part, right? So how do we only work 10 hours per month but make over 10K per month? And that is because we're going to automate the entire thing and delegate the entire thing. So you guys know I am the queen of AI. I literally get paid $10,000 to $30,000 to get up on stage and talk about how to leverage AI in business. I was just in New York and Las Vegas where I did this 2 months ago. And what I teach in the bootcamp is 1,000 times more than anything I've ever gotten up on stage and talked about. So not only do I teach you how to automate the entire process, the back end, the admin, all of that. I teach you how to be a prompt engineer. I teach you how to leverage all the best AI tools out there. I'm adding a bunch of AI trades to the bootcamp too. Obviously, when you purchase, you are entitled to any and all updates. So you guys get grandfathered into all of those updates if you purchase today or before that happens. So very, very exciting. Then I teach you how to delegate the whole thing out to freelancers on Fiverr. Because even as one person, even if you're fully automated, as one person, you'll always hit a ceiling, right? In order to break through that ceiling, you got to delegate the work out. You got to hire help. And it can be very scary. It was for me, I know. So I walk you through the entire process. And it's not like you're paying these people out of your own money, right? When the client pays you, a portion of that then goes to the freelancer. So I walk you through how to vet the best freelancers on Fiverr, how to onboard them, all the templates and resources you need to make that happen too. And so I think that's it. So it covers the entire 360, right? How to actually work 10 hours, how to make 10K plus per month and only work 10 hours per month, right? Learn the services and trades, get up and running with a website and a LinkedIn profile, actually book clients on Upwork, LinkedIn, and Indeed, automate the whole thing with AI, delegate the work out to freelancers on Fiverr. It's literally why it's Monday and it's 2 p.m. and I'm sitting here hanging out with you guys because like my business is fully automated. Mondays I really don't do much anyway, but Tuesdays are my busier day. Like it's ever even busy, but you get it. It's literally how I've been able to buy. I bought 2 houses last year. The house in Florida and our mountain house, which we are here for the whole summer, so we can chill out and not boil to death in Florida. It's how like I wake up from messages from students being like, "Oh my God, I just quit my job," or "Oh my God, I just had my first 10K month." And it's like the coolest, craziest thing I've ever done in my life. And I can't believe that we're on this journey together and we're starting this entire anti-workaholic movement. This entire framework and bootcamp has changed so many people's lives. It's literally how I got my podcast deal with HubSpot, which is major. It's literally how I got my book deal with a major publication. They gave me like a fat book advance. How I get written up in all these articles, how I get my speaking engagements, so it's like I said, it's the coolest, craziest thing I've ever done for my life. And it also comes with the Facebook group. It's an amazing, amazing community. It's what I wish I had when I started, right? There's nothing more valuable than being in a community where you can ask questions. People are doing the same thing as you. You're learning, you're getting advice from people who are more successful in it. And just having that community, that camaraderie is so, so invaluable. Not only do I answer every single question, that gets asked in there, but you'll also get tips and advice from other students who are successful as well. So super, super invaluable. Like I said, you get lifetime access. I'm adding a shit ton of updates. I'm really, really excited about it. And when I do that, the price will go up. But if you purchase now, you're entitled to any and all updates, totally complimentary. So the sooner you get in, the better. So if you click the link in my profile, it'll take you to my link tree. It's the first link in my link tree. Discounts automatically applied at checkout, and there is Afterpay or Klarna if you want a payment plan options. Typically $4,000 all in, you get everything. There's no like hidden fees or extra subscriptions you have to buy. Nothing, I promise. I also give you my full AI automation, you guys. This is like, this is literally how I became a millionaire, is because this AI automation books clients for me, fully automated, behind the scenes, running 24/7, has back and forth conversations with potential clients, closes them. I built it out in Zapier. It took me like 6 months to build out with a custom GPT. I give you that entire template. I walk you through how to customize it. It's the craziest, coolest thing. That's what my one student, Rick, I actually did a live with Rick where he walked through it, and in 2 months he had $50,000 in monthly retainers for meta ad services, offering it to med spas and plastic surgeons at 10K a pop using that AI automation. So super, super invaluable, super, super cool. So yeah, the price will go up after the live. It'll go back up to full price. It's typically, like I said, $4,000 all in, you get everything, but it's just under $2,000, and there is Afterpay and Klarna, and discounts automatically applied at checkout. I'll let that go till 20 minutes after the live. That's my way of saying thank you guys so much for being here and for participating, because I love you guys so much and you mean the world to me. So let me see if I missed any questions, and I'll try to get them. Let me see. I'm guessing if you're that popular, then it's oversaturated. Hi, Lily. This is a great question, and I understand this question all of the time, and we have so much. It's weird that and I understand why it's like this, but it's so funny that we see things like people going out on their own and doing things and then considering that saturated, when it's like, imagine if you're an accountant, right? And say an 18-year-old comes up to you and it's like, hey, like, I'm thinking about going to school and becoming an accountant, right? You seem to really like your job. You get paid well. You seem to like what you do. I'm a numbers guy. So I'm thinking about doing it. Do you think that's a good idea? And you as the accountant respond, no, it's a bad idea because you're my potential competition, right? You're going to cause it to become too saturated. You'd be like, no, being an accountant's dope. I love it. Like, sure, you should absolutely do that, right? It's the same thing. It's just because it's like not a job, we see it as it can get saturated or oversaturated, something like that. And you know, as somebody who's in business, right, you never play on those, you never play that game. You never play the what if game, you never play the okay, but what about the risks game, and you never play the it's saturated game, right? Because everything is saturated, which means nothing is saturated. You're never going to get into anything, be the very first person, and it's going to explode for you, and then after that, you'll never have any competition because you're the only one ever doing it, right? That doesn't exist in anything ever, literally ever. You can always get in on things a little bit earlier and it bode well, but like you'll still deal with competition and saturation a little bit later down the road, and you'll have to adapt and pivot and change always, no matter what. There's no getting around that. And so I don't believe in saturation, period. But if you want to look at saturation as like, because I do believe in like supply and demand, and if you want to look at it from that standpoint, right, it's undersaturated because the supply is low, because you go places like Upwork, LinkedIn, and Indeed, hundreds of listings for these roles, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of listings for these roles. That means it's so in demand that the supply is so low that they have to outwardly search for it. They have to outwardly look for it. So because somebody's talking about something, and you see it like being talked about a lot, mainly because like when you watch one video on it, now your algorithm's going to be full with it, and it's going to give you this perception of oversaturation, and in reality that's not the case at all. So I hope that helps. I hope that makes sense. How much is it and how do we join? So if you click the link in my profile, it'll take you to my link tree, and it's going to be the first link in my link tree called the 10-hour 10K work month bootcamp. And discounts automatically apply to checkout, and there is Afterpay or Klarna if you want a payment plan option. So it's just under $2,000 until about 20 minutes after the live, and then it does go back up to full price. There's a billion accountants, I know, and it's like, what's that? It's like, that's the excuse if like you make money online and it's too hard to explain. You're just like, I'm an accountant. This is like back in the day, because like I've been doing this for a long time and people really didn't understand it back then. And so I used to just say, like, they'd be like, what do you mean meta ads, like billboards, you know? And that is still the perception, is like when you run meta ads, they think you're throwing up like a digital billboard and it's just always sitting up there and people are scrolling by it. And like, that's not the case at all. That's not how it works. But so instead of trying to explain it to people, I used to say like, oh, I just push a bunch of buttons on the computer and it makes me money. And this was like, you know, before it was even called Meta, when it was still just Instagram and Facebook. Like, I've been doing Meta ads for a long time. Hard work conquers saturation every time. Say it louder. Hard work, and I would say hard work and consistency. Consistency, I like stress consistency a lot, and I know it can be cliche and corny, but it's because people will say, you'll hear successful people say consistency, and it's because we know. It's because we know we've put in that work, and we know that consistency pays off 100% of the time. Because it really does. There's nothing you can't do if you stick it out. Like, I mean, anybody can get a six-pack, right? Anybody can get a six-pack. We know what it takes to get a six-pack, and it's not up for debate, right? Where it's like, if I do these things, maybe, hopefully I'll get a six-pack. No, you know, if you eat the certain foods, you do the certain workouts, you live a certain life, you will get a six-pack. It's literally proven, scientific. It will happen if you do these things, right? But it will never happen if you're not consistent with it, right? Can't do it for 2 weeks, get a six-pack, and then stop. Your six-pack will go away. You have to stay consistent at it. And it doesn't matter. And yeah, getting a six-pack is hard work, right? We know it sucks. That's why people don't have six-packs, because it sucks. And it sucks to be consistent at hard work like that. But it pays off every single time. Dude, that girl, have you guys, listen, I'm a reality TV junkie. There's that girl, right, who one of the 1,000-pound sisters. Have you seen her lately? How much weight did she lose? She lost so much weight. She lost so much weight. And it, took years. It took years, and it was hard work, and it was consistency. She lost so much weight, right? She looks insane, like crazy, crazy, crazy. It really does. And like, I know it to be true because, I mean, if anybody could have been consistent or had reasons to not stay consistent, it was me. I've had some really bad rock bottom moments. Like, I mean, I don't have a college degree. I'm literally a college flunkout, like flunked out. I mean, and I don't think I'm stupid. I hope I'm not stupid. I'm not stupid. I can say I'm not stupid. And that's not being egotistical. But for a long time, I felt stupid, right? Because school just didn't click for me. It just didn't click. And it wasn't like, I'm not a good test taker. That's not the format I learn in. It's just not. And so I cut a lot of class. I skipped a lot of class. I almost got kicked out of high school. Like, social services called my house and said, she needs to drop out because she's not going to graduate because she's missed so many classes. I was like, fuck. So I went back to class. I graduated by the skin of my teeth, high school. So I didn't get into a good college, obviously. So I didn't get into the school all my friends went to. They all went to UCF. I, by some miracle, and I know what the miracle was, got into Florida Gulf Coast University. It's because it was a brand new school, so they were taking literally anybody. I got in there, and, old habits die hard. I was skipping classes again, and there was a straw that broke the camel's back for me. I was like, okay, I'm going to study computer science because women in tech, I'm going to make so much money, right? So I took intro to CSS, which is like learning how to code. And if you took an intro to CSS class in circa 2007, 2008, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Is we were learning how to code a teddy bear, right? You type in a bunch of code, you put into the compiler, and out comes the shape of a teddy bear. And coding is very tedious. It's mind-numbing. Coding is mind-numbing. And so I was like, holy shit, this is going to be a long semester where we're going to have to learn how to code this teddy bear. And I remember after that class, I went home, back to the dorm, and I Googled how to code a teddy bear CSS. And I found out how to code a teddy bear. And guess how long it took me? It took me 20 minutes. It took me 20 minutes to learn how to code this teddy bear. And I was like, we're going to spend an entire semester learning how to do something that I just Googled in 20 minutes? This can't be it. Like, this can't be it. Like, my brain, this is insane. This is insane to me. This is insane. So at that point, it was like I was flunking all of my other classes, and they're like, oh, you got to retake them in the summer, pay all this extra money. And I was like, well, I don't got that money. And I'm like working a hostessing job. Obviously, I don't got scholarships because I'm not the brightest crayon in the box. So I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to go back to school, pay all this money. I'm going to continue to cut classes, right, and keep failing when I'm learning this shit myself for way quicker. So I flunked out, right, because I wasn't going to retake those classes, and they weren't letting me back in. So flunked, dropped, whatever you want to call it. And, that was like a massive disappointment for my family. To them, it was like, there's no option. You go to school. Like, there is no other option. You're not going to have, I mean, obviously they didn't give me financial support, but they were like, you don't have our support, period, if you don't go to school. And so dropping out, I was like, SOL. I had like $200 to my name. I packed up my Mini Cooper that I bought cash. Because I worked like every job. I worked every job, right? Bagged groceries at Winn-Dixie, retail, service industry. I worked every job. Packed my Mini Cooper and drove to California. I was in California for like 6 years, and I was trying to like learn how to build websites, write code, build websites, offer that. And that was a roller coaster. And I was out there for like 7 years, and I had a really bad rock bottom moment. I got into a really bad car accident. I got hit by a drunk driver, and so I couldn't work my bartending job, and my mental health was like at an all-time low because I had just gotten out of like a toxic relationship with like some shitty dude. And so I wasn't making any money building websites anymore. And so I lost my car because my insurance wouldn't give me any money from it because it wasn't worth any money. And then I lost my job, right, because my back was effed from from the car accident. And so I couldn't pay my apartment. So I got evicted. So I lost my car. I lost my apartment. And there was at one point, like I went to the grocery store, my card declined. I couldn't, like I literally had to leave without food. And so like getting to that like low point after like leaving home and then like 7 years later saying like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to make it happen. And then getting to this point where I'm like almost homeless, that was rough. That was really, really rough. I had to get rid of everything in my apartment, because I lost my apartment. And so at that point, you know, I could have been like, hey, listen, I'm just going to go back to college, or I'm just going to get like a job, right? And I didn't. So I used the last money in my account. It was like a $40 Spirit plane ticket back to Florida. And I crashed on my parents' couch until I got a job at the Ritz-Carlton bartending. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to get back to it. I'm going to get back to building websites, offering those to businesses. Then I got into ads. That's a whole other story. And I haven't looked back since I got into ads. And I even had like my first ads client, like I tanked it so bad that they threatened to sue me. So like that was another rock bottom moment that I could have been like, okay, this clearly is not for me. I can't do this. Like I'm fucking up my very first client. Like clearly I can't do this. Like there are so many reasons why you could stop something. And like, can you imagine if I had stopped? Can you imagine if I had stopped? You know, like, where would I be? Like, where would I be? Where would I be? Like, and of course, I had no idea what I was doing. You know, like, I had to figure out all of this on my own without I didn't have a me. You know what I mean? So, it was a lot different back then. But yeah, and now. So, is your family pleased with your success? They are. You know, my mom still says, but if you had a degree, you know, like, she's old school like that. And that's fine. I understand that. But, and you know, I think at some point in some level in me, I'm still like trying to prove to my parents, you know, because that's just, that never leaves. That never leaves. Yeah. Sorry, you guys got a lot of heavy stuff unloaded on you. I'm sorry. But I think it's important. I think it's important because, you know, it's easy to look at somebody and say like, oh, easy for them, or overnight success, you know, when really there's years of blood, sweat, and tears and rock bottom moments that lead to an overnight success, you know, because it can happen all at once really, really fast. And it really does. Like, you know, it was a lot harder to get to my first $10,000 month than it was to get to my $100,000 month. And that's because it's just, you know, you get all the pieces in place and then you crank it and you open up the floodgates, right? Once you got the pieces in place, once everything's working, you just scale it to the moon, right? And so it's getting to that point, which is why I created the boot camp, right? Is because now you guys don't have to do any of what I had to go through. I just give you what works, right? I give you that. So all you have to do is crank it up and turn up the volume. Actually just implement everything, execute it, and turn up the volume. And I show you how to do all of that. I give you just what works, right? Took me 12-ish years to get to where I am now. And figuring out, okay, do it this way, that didn't work, do it this way, that didn't work, okay, do it this way, this works, okay, now do it this way, that didn't work, do it this way, that didn't work, okay. And then, like, eliminating all of the guesswork for you so you guys get just what works, a repeatable process that has been proven through hundreds of my students. That generation is so old school and close-minded. And I do understand it, because I think, like, in the 60s, 7% of the working class population had a degree. So it literally gave you a leg up. It was also much more affordable, right? But now it's like 55% of the working age population has a degree. So it's not even like you're an elite minority anymore. You're literally the majority. And so it doesn't make you special anymore. It doesn't give you a leg up anymore because everybody's got one, right? So now it's like, and everybody knows this, right? You go to get a job, they're like, okay, you have a degree, what else? Do you have experience? Do you have something else? Like, what else do you have? Because everybody's got a degree. So now you got to have something else too. So it's really changed, and it's wildly expensive. There should be no for-profit student loans. That's criminal, especially from the government. The government's profiting off of your student loans. Like, that's gross. It's terrible. You know, I think nobody should ever have to take out more than $10,000 to get educated, right? $10,000 to pay for the actual, you know, people who have to process the loan, pay their salaries. You know, I get that, right? There's cost involved with issuing loans. I understand that. But for profit for student loans is crazy. Thank you for sharing your story. You kept going even through all the challenges. And that's why I'm so big. Well, I appreciate you saying that. And I'm glad that some of you guys can resonate with my story. And that's why I'm so big on consistency, because I know there are so many times you can easily give up. But when you just push through, I always say that the only people that can fail at this are the only types of people that fail at this are the ones that just give up too soon, right? But they are like, hey, I took the course, and this is within anything in entrepreneurship. They reach out to 10 potential clients, they hear 10 no's, and they're like, never mind, right? Like I said, it's like learning a new language. You get to a certain point, you plateau, and you're like, never mind. You'll never learn that language, right? You eventually learn the language. You eventually get your trick shot. You eventually get your first yes. And what happens too is it starts to snowball. Once you get your first client, it becomes so much easier because you've already put in that groundwork. You've already figured out, okay, the more I say this, the more positive responses I get. So I'm going to lean into that. I'm going to do more of this. Like you figure it out and it clicks and it just starts to snowball. Pays off 100% of the time. Do you have the updated templates for Klaviyo? So listen, so many updates are coming, like an insane amount, very, very soon. And I will keep you posted on all of them. Not just on those trades, but like everything is going to be updated from front to back. Yeah, and it's why I'm so passionate about, helping others, because like seeing me get out of my shitty situation and then seeing you guys get out of yours is by far the coolest thing I've ever done in my life, right? Like, I mean, I had somebody the other day on my live tell me that she quit her job as a professor. Like she just sent in her resignation letter and she said she hated her job. She wasn't making any money, which is crazy because you think a professor would make good money. But she says like during her off time, she has to get another job. And she's like, an education degree doesn't translate to anything else. Okay, people are the worst. It's like my body language. I'm literally pouring my heart and soul out. And so gives me anxiety. And people are like, she's looking to the left. That's a sign of something. It's a nervous sign. I cover my chest a lot because it gets really, really red. When I talk and when I speak, I've gone through tons of like public speaking things to help me speak better, especially because I'm getting all of these speaking events. And it's like an anxiety thing. It's like a nervous thing. And I've been working through it. So what can you do? And it's always the people who are just angry people who are leaving nasty comments. Okay. But anyways, what was I saying? And she quit her job as a professor. She was just telling me this on her, on my Instagram live. And she said that like, she didn't know what else she was going to do because an education degree, unfortunately, doesn't translate to much. Also, I'm looking to the side because I'm live at 2 places at once. So I'm trying to address both cameras. I'm live on Instagram. Hi, Instagram. And I'm live on TikTok. Hi, TikTok. And she's like, I didn't know what else to do. And she said that she's now making so much money after taking the 10-hour, 10K work month that she was able to put in her resignation letter. And to me, that feeling is like, this is why I wake up in the morning, right? Because like I said, I've been in shitty situations. I just told you my shitty situations. And like seeing you guys get out of yours after I've gotten out of mine is like the coolest thing, the most fulfilling thing I've ever done in my life. And like, I'm just so grateful to be here with you guys and on this journey with you guys. Like truly, it's the coolest thing ever. And I'm so stoked. And like that life has literally transformed for me. Now I do speaking engagements. I do my book. I got a podcast, like all because of changing all of your guys' lives in my own. So it's super, super cool. After how long did she give her resignation? I'm not sure. She didn't mention it. I asked her to shoot me a message. So I have to check because I want to use that as a testimonial. So I have to check. But I don't think it was too long. I think maybe around 6 months. You love that, going live on 2 platforms at once at the same time. So smart. Never thought of that. Actually, my husband suggested that because I was going like, oh, I should go live on Instagram too. This was back when my Instagram hadn't really blown up yet. And he's like, just do it at the same time. And I was like, that's so smart. So yeah, I do have to run soon though, guys. Which means the bootcamp's going to go back up to full price in about 20 minutes. So I'm happy to answer any last quick questions because I try to go live for at least an hour to be able to answer all your questions. And if I didn't answer it, please feel free to leave it on my most recent video. I do my best to answer all your questions. It's literally why I go live, is to be here as an available resource for you guys. I mean, if you guys are a student or you've been around me asking questions a long time, I answer every single email you guys ask. I answer every question in the student Facebook group. I'm live all the time answering students' questions. Like, I want to help you regardless on your journey, wherever you are. How long would you say on average does it take a student to finish the course and start making money? Great question. And there's no true answer to that, right? I want to be as transparent as possible, and this is a true transparent answer. And if anybody tries to give you certain numbers and facts like that, it's mainly not possible, because there's no database that forces students to report back, right? It's like when you get a degree, they don't say like the average time it takes to get a job after, right? Because students aren't reporting back, giving us that type of information, right? The only type of information we have is like based on like tax returns and that type of information. So but I can tell you previous experience that I've personally actually seen. I have a student, Leslie, in her first week. Not only did she take the course, implement everything, get her very first client, her first $2,500 a month client, all in 1 week, right? Like under 7 days. She made her money back and then some, and that's a monthly retainer, so she gets it every single month. So it's possible to like take the course, implement everything, get your very first client all in 1 week. I have Danny in her first 4 months. She had $80,000 in monthly retainers offering med ad services to insurance companies. Rick, who I was just talking about, who I did a live with Rick, and he walked through it, which is really cool. In 2 months, he had $50,000 of monthly retainers offering med ad services to med spas and plastic surgeons at $10K a pop. And then I have other students, who don't get a client, their first paying client, until month 6. So it's going to be across the board. And with entrepreneurship, you can't expect black and white. And it's tough because we're so used to black and white, right? We're used to like either school or a job where we know, okay, we show up on these days. We do this work for this amount of time. We'll get paid this much on these days, right? Very black and white, we know. And so we're looking for that again in anything else we do, and it just doesn't exist. So I can share stories about what's possible, but to give you actual stats, and I'm always weary of people who give stats, because it's like, how are your students or clients like physically reporting back every little thing? You know what I mean? So that's me being transparent, giving you the real answer. Yes, definitely not black and white, and everybody's journey is different. It's very true. So I hope this live was beneficial for you guys. If you have any last quick questions, I'm going to jump on them and answer them. But I do have to run. So the 10-hour 10K work month boot camp, again, guys, is going to be half off for the next 20 minutes only. And then it does go back up to full price. I don't know the next time I'll be live. I do go live regularly, but I don't have a schedule, so I can't tell you the next time. That's another beauty of living a 10-hour 10K work month life, is that this is what I can't stress enough about, like, a wealthy life, right? Money aside, having autonomy over your life. That is a wealthy life. I wake up and that day I decide what I want to do. Like this morning, I was going to like stay home and like do more work. And I was like, no, I want to go out to breakfast. I want to go to Target. And so that's what we did. I was like, I can do work any other time, because I control my life. I've worked 9 to 5. I've worked every job, right? I've scooped dog poop at doggy daycare, bag groceries, service industry, retail, shitty 9 to 5s, good 9 to 5s. And to me, nothing crushes me more internally, like my soul, like a 9 to 5. And that is because the autonomy of your life isn't there. You have no control. Having to be somewhere, having to wake up, and no matter what, having to be somewhere, if you don't feel like it and be like, hey, listen, I'll just double up on the work the next day. You can't do that. You can't do that. It's a nice day outside. It's a beautiful day outside. And I would be like, I have to go to work. I can't sit outside and enjoy this nice day. Like, having to run errands on your lunch break because there's literally no other time because you don't have control over your own life. You're a prisoner to this job. To me, that is, like, at least with, like, retail and service industry, you could take the day off if you got somebody to, like, cover your shift. You know what I mean? And, like, it wasn't a problem. But, like, a 9 to 5 is just, there's nothing, and I know a lot of people love their 9 to 5s. That's perfectly okay. To me, it's just, that is, and so being able to, like, let people know that there's another option, that you can go out on your own. And I'm not sitting here saying it's 100% easy, but it's a lot easier than it's made out to be, right? To me, it's a lot harder to work a 9 to 5. That's hard. That's hard because your life is over. You've given your life up and you're at the mercy of them, right? I'm at the mercy of me, right? They can at any time lay you off. They don't care. It doesn't matter how loyal of them, right? I'm at the mercy of me, right? They can at any time lay you off. They don't care. It doesn't matter how loyal you are. They don't care, right? They say they care, but when push comes to shove, if they got to make layoffs, you're cut. They don't give a shit. So I'm dependent. My eggs are in my basket, not in somebody else's basket. And it's a lot less riskier when you go out on your own because you got multiple clients. So if one drops off, no sweat. You got other clients to pull you through. It's fine. So, to me, that is the definition of a rich life is freedom. It's time freedom, and it's the freedom to just live your life. And my husband doesn't have to work. We hang out with our 3-year-old all day. Like, he's napping. That's why I'm live right now. Like, it's just the coolest thing ever, you know? I had one of my students pop in my live saying that she just was able to have her husband quit his job too. And I was like, oh, how cool. Is he at home with you? And she's like, no, he's actually out golfing right now. I was like, that's amazing. So super, super cool. So best boss and worst boss I ever had was when you were your own boss to your own business. Yeah, because you can be hard on yourself, you know, but I'd rather be my own worst boss than have to deal with somebody else's shit. You know, that's to me, it's just like, it's exhausting, and it's just not how life is meant to be lived. It just really isn't. And now that we have so many other options, you know, the internet has leveled the playing field and made anybody at any education level, so long as they're consistent with something. Hey, what happens if one doesn't have the capital to start? Steffi, great question. You don't have to have any capital. I've been broke more times than I can count. I made my first $10,000 without spending a dime. I mean, literally without spending a dime, outside of a computer and Wi-Fi. But, you know, the library has those for free. Learning the online skills and trades, unless, you know, you purchase a boot camp like through me, which is going to accelerate that process for you, eliminate all of the guesswork, and give you every single resource and template you need to make that happen, right? So that you don't have to put in the work, right? I put in the work already for you guys, but it is possible to do it on your own, okay? So learn a service, skill, or trade. Give yourself an online crash course. Position yourself as an expert. You can build a free website with Canva. You can build a free LinkedIn page, get clients, Upwork, LinkedIn, and Indeed, all free places to get clients. Send invoices, use Google products, Gmail. You don't need an LLC starting out. You don't need any of that. You can make $10,000 without spending a dime. Can you do this from Guatemala? You absolutely can. You can do this from anywhere. The beauty about this is that it's all done online, virtually, and that means you don't have to have clients either that are local. So I don't have any clients. You can have clients from anywhere. I have clients in Australia, Canada, the UK, and I have students from all over too. What advice when starting? So consistency. You have to be consistent. I said this before, and that you can't expect it to be black and white, right? You can't say, okay, somebody did it this way, it worked for them, I'm going to do it that way, and if it doesn't work for you, that you failed. It's not black and white, and consistency pays off 100% of the time. If you stick with it, you will eventually get your first client, you'll eventually hit your first 10K month, you'll eventually hit your first 50K month, you'll eventually hit your 6-figure month. Like, it's a consistency play, and consistency pays off. You don't have to be good. That's the beauty about consistency, is you don't have to be good. You get good when you're consistent. Like, I use this analogy a lot, and because to me it makes sense. Like, imagine if you've never picked up a baseball bat and you've never hit a baseball, right? You're not an athletic person, period. And you get up to that pitch, you pick up the baseball bat, and they throw it at you. What are the odds you're going to hit a home run, right? Very unlikely. Possible, but very, very unlikely, okay? But what happens when you start showing up every single day to hit that ball? Every single day, you hit it over and over. You're going to risk looking stupid because you're going to strike out a bunch, right? Oh, well. You're going to hit a bunch of foul balls. But once you show up every single day, you're going to start learning, okay, when the ball comes this way, if I hit it this way, it actually goes further. When it comes this way, if I hit it this way, your muscles are going to build up, right? You're going to learn what stances are better and what movements are better, right? And eventually, you will hit that home run. You will hit that home run. If you show up to that plate every single day, even if you have no experience, you're no good at it, you're not smart, you're not good at it, you'll eventually hit your home run. And the crazy thing is that your next home run number 2, comes a lot easier. You don't have to go through everything that you went through all over again. You've already built up that muscle. You've already figured out what works and what doesn't work. So home run number 2 comes a lot easier than 3, then 4, then 5. And so long as you're consistent, you will win. Consistency pays off 100% of the time. It's why I go live every single day. Because I show up for you guys every single day. Because I know that if I'm consistent with it and I help you guys consistently, you guys will get through it. Like, it's literally why I'm here. We hit our home run when we found you. Stop. I'm going to cry. You guys are so nice. I'm saying, and this is literally why I show up. Like, how can I not show up every single day when I get messages like that? When you guys tell me things like that, like, it just makes me feel so indebted to continue to help you guys and to continue to improve this boot camp and to continue to make sure you guys succeed. Like, this is so cool. You guys are the best. Ashley, you want to do this so bad. Just keep showing up. I'm making free content all of the time. Like, it's why I do what I do. I want you guys to succeed so bad. But I do have to run. You're really excited. You're dealing with a massive nerves because it's such a big shift for you. That's normal, right? That's normal. And that's a good thing. I know it doesn't feel like it, but it's growth. We so badly want to be successful and not have to leave our comfort zone. It would be so nice. Trust me, I'm a big introvert, and I know it doesn't seem like that. You should see my original videos. You should see my first public speaking event. Like, people have a bigger fear of death, or of public speaking, than they do of death. Like, that's how bad that is for me, especially. And you know, you just show up, you just do it, and that feeling goes away. That feeling goes away. It never fully goes away, but it gets easier and it becomes second nature for you. And that should be exciting, that nervousness, that feeling of on the brink of like, this is a big mistake, but I should do it because I know in my head it's right, is a good sign. That's a sign of growth, and that's a sign that you're moving in the right direction. And you won't be able to reach those points without going through that. So just know it's literally part of the process. It has to be done. You have to feel that way. So it's a good thing. And then it starts to become second nature. Like I said, I messed up my first client so bad that they threatened to sue me. And that made me very nervous for all the rest of my clients moving forward. And I was so nervous, and I messed up potential clients, closing them because I'm fumbling over my words all of the time. I kept showing up, I got better at it, and it became second nature, and now I can do it without even thinking about it, you know? Because it's just how it is. And like, literally getting on the phone with a new client made me sick to my stomach, because I was like, now this client's gonna hate me too, you know? Like, it is what it is, but you get better at it. And the only way to get through it, or to get over it, is to go through it. So I do have to run, guys. Thank you guys so much for being here. So the 10-hour 10K work month bootcamp is half off for the next 20 minutes only. It will go back up to full price. Again, I don't know the next time I'll be live. This is my way of saying thank you guys so much for being here, and I appreciate you guys so much. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. Yeah, and there's going to be major updates coming to the bootcamp, and the entire price will go up when that happens. But if you purchase today, you are locked in. You get all of those updates totally complimentary. And I'm excited to share even more about those with you guys. And I'm excited to be on this journey with you. And I hope I see some of you guys on the other side, because it's the coolest thing ever. I know I just had somebody in here say that she just purchased, and I'm so excited. So please keep us posted on your progress and success, because it's going to be awesome. And yeah, so if I didn't get to answer your question again, this is why I do what I do. So please feel free to leave it on my most recent video. I promise I will do my best to answer all your guys' questions. So thank you guys so much. I will talk and see you guys soon, and have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.